From a bold escape attempt that ended in twisted metal and a midnight race through city streets that turned into a demolition, to a pursuit that flipped an entire truck over, and much more. Here are the craziest moments when pit maneuvers are used with no mercy.
All right, stand by.
It was a late night on April 2nd, 2023 in Atlanta, and two Dodge Challenger Scat Packs were carving through traffic like they owned the streets. No plates, no hesitation, just raw horsepower and terrible timing. Georgia State Patrol had eyes on both one gray, one white, and neither seemed too interested in pulling over for a friendly chat. As they stormed onto the connector still in sync, it wasn't clear which one would push their luck further. But one thing was obvious, they weren't just out for a cruise.
All right, still southbound 75 coming up to Central Ave.
Still southbound coming up on Central Ave.
They were both trying to take the Cleveland exit, but this gray one didn't make it. I'm staying with him. Coming up to Central. Making his way over to the right. He might be trying to take Central Ave. I'll let you know. Give me just a second.
I'm up on Central, making his way on the right. Coming up on CW Branch.
Coming up to Riverdale. Notify Clayton County, Atlanta. Notify Clayton County. We're exiting on.
The moment the gray Challenger reached Riverdale Road, everything nearly fell apart. With traffic tightening and options running low, the driver made a move that looked like it would cost him everything.
Southbound Riverdale, almost 1050. Still going.
Can I get there for 85?
Yes, but you're probably better off. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Under the glare of overhead lights, things got a lot more personal. The patrol unit closed in, striking hard and fast, a physical reminder that GSP wasn't here to negotiate.
I'll stand by.
Traffic lane, carry unit.
Pit. I'm trying to get him off the road, get him disabled. Stand by. All right, stand by. Multiple pits and contacts.
The driver in the gray Scat Pack eventually learned what Georgia troopers do when patience runs out. They act. After several successive strikes that left the vehicle damaged and unable to continue, the suspect was taken into custody. Charges are pending, but it's safe to assume this won't be a quick trip to court. Speed may win drag races, but against troopers trained to shut down chaos, it's just a countdown to consequences. It was April 25th, 2021, and Atlanta traffic was rolling along like any other spring Sunday until a green Isuzu landscape truck turned it into something else entirely. That truck wasn't just out of place, it was stolen, and troopers from Troop C were about to get more than just a casual recovery. What started with a tracker alert quickly evolved into a full-blown highway pursuit. And the man behind the wheel, he wasn't about to give it up without a serious chase.
Let me get a good look on him. Black male, he's got a white hat on backwards. He's got a black mask around his face and his neck. And he's got a short sleeve, black looking tight polo on. Still south, about a mile from 285. Southbound, 55, mile from 25.
As the truck reached a stretch of I-75 near Central Avenue, troopers were already calculating the margin for error. The next few seconds would test both physics and timing, because what happened next didn't just stop the truck, It turned the entire pursuit on its head.
Stand by, 797, look at the vehicle, go ahead. Central pit, the central pit, roll up, stand by, that's central. Stand by, 797, look at the vehicle, go ahead. Central pit, the central pit, roll over, stand by, that's central.
Once the dust settled and the truck was upside down on the shoulder, troopers found the driver still inside, shaken but conscious. He was identified as Tyrell Williamson, and after a quick trip to Grady Hospital for medical clearance, he was booked into the Fulton County Jail. Charges theft by taking a motor vehicle felony fleeing, and likely a laundry list of traffic violations. Say what you will, but trying to outrun the Georgia State Patrol in a boxy landscape truck, not exactly a career move. It was the night before Thanksgiving, November 27th to be exact, but for one Dodge Challenger racing north on Interstate 530, dinner plans clearly didn't include stopping for law enforcement. When the Grant County Sheriff's Office put out a call for help, one trooper answered without hesitation. What followed would be a reminder that no matter how fast you think you are, some roads only lead to one place. The Dodge Challenger surged forward like a rocket, darting across lanes as if the rules of the road were merely suggestions. At speeds pushing 140 miles per hour, it became clear this driver was willing to gamble everything, and law enforcement was running out of patience. Just when it seemed the driver couldn't make a riskier move, he proved everyone wrong. Before the car had even finished its last dance with the pavement, the door flung open and he made a run for it into the darkness over a barrier and straight toward the unknown.
CBI curbside.
Despite the reckless sprint and sudden disappearance, the suspect didn't vanish without a trace. The vehicle was impounded, and the passenger, who happened to be the registered owner, made things even murkier by refusing to help. With no solid ID and a foot pursuit that came up empty, the case hit a frustrating wall. But one thing's certain, outrunning a pit at 139 miles per hour might make for a wild story. But it's never the smart ending. You'd think someone running from a theft charge would try not to stand out. But on April 16, 2024, a red Dodge Ram did the exact opposite. Trooper Michael Ledden delivered a clean tactical vehicle intervention that spun the truck completely around, but instead of quitting, the driver hit the gas like nothing happened.
And we're going to go 50 past.
The suspect had already shown he wasn't afraid to drive dangerously, but things took a darker turn when the truck plowed into a civilian vehicle. Traffic boxed him in, and for a brief moment, it looked like the end, but the driver had one more move left, and it was anything but smart. Once the truck came to a stop, the suspect refused to exit and had to be physically dragged out through the window. Officers later found a small bag of what appeared to be a white crystalline substance near the scene, matching what was reportedly found in the suspect's pocket. Meanwhile, the innocent driver he collided with was sent to the hospital with head, neck, and back pain. In the end, it was a messy, dangerous attempt to run, and one that crashed harder than he ever expected. It started just past 2 in the afternoon on July 8, 2023, with a call that made its way through the Faulkner County dispatch lines. Conway police were chasing a gray Ford Mustang that was clearly not interested in sticking around for a friendly conversation. The call wasn't even cold before Arkansas State Police Trooper William Cash threw on the lights and rolled out to intercept. He had no idea just how fast things were about to get. One thing was clear, this wasn't going to be a quiet afternoon shift.
You're still over 100 miles an hour. Copy it, mark interstate. Copy, mark interstate.
He just threw out narcotics right before the 127. Excuse me, 125. That's the 125 now.
That's the 125 exit.
That's the 125, threw out the narcotics.
Copy that.
When the dust settled, the driver identified as Derek N. Blevins took one last shot at escape, this time on foot. But that didn't last long. Officers tracked him down in the median, while his passenger Shelby L. Hoffman was taken into custody at the car. Troopers later recovered an ounce of suspected methamphetamine along the shoulder right where that bag burst. Blevins now faces a stack of charges, including fleeing in a vehicle with substantial danger, possession of methamphetamine, and tampering with evidence. Running from the law might seem like a thrill, but as this case shows, it usually ends with cuffs, not glory.
Better stop.
The sun was still up in Tallahassee on November 5th, 2024, but that didn't stop things from going dark fast. A stolen blue Mitsubishi shot out from Richview Road like it had demons at the bumper crossing into Appalachia Parkway, with zero interest in stopping. Behind the wheel was a man with no plan, just pedal. And right behind him, Florida Highway Patrol was bearing down. One trooper locked in and made the silent promise this chase would end on his terms. The moment the suspect crossed into oncoming lanes, the stakes hit a whole new level. With danger building in both directions and no sign of slowing down, our trooper locked in with surgical focus, ready to end the chaos with a move that no one would forget.
Better stop.
Turns out the man behind the wheel was Antoine Jones, and he wasn't going anywhere after that. Officers placed him in handcuffs and transported him to the hospital for a quick check before booking him into Leon County Jail. Jones was charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle and fleeing and eluding. Let this one be a reminder if you're trying to outrun a trooper who already has you in their sights. The only thing you'll be speeding toward is a jail cell. It was just after 5:30 in the morning when the calm of an early Georgia highway drive was shattered by a blur of blue in the passing lane. While most commuters were still wiping sleep from their eyes, Trooper M. Moores watched a Chevy Camaro blast past him like it had no concept of consequence. Clocking in at well over 100 miles per hour, the car wasn't just fast, it was on a mission. But when Moores hit the lights and sirens, the driver made a decision that would change the course of his morning and his record. A pursuit had just begun, and this one wasn't going to be short on drama. As the chase veered off the main road, the atmosphere tightened. An impact finally stopped the run cold, and the next thing that happened wasn't just surprising, it was flat out reckless.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
Once the chase ended, Wyatt bolted from the disabled car like it was on fire, weaving across a busy interstate, as if the lanes were crosswalks. Trooper Moores stayed in it, pursuing on foot while calling in backup. Villarica officers Hemingway and Walton sealed the deal and placed Wyatt in custody. The Camaro, later traced to a dealership theft, was totaled. Wyatt didn't just face traffic violations, he faced serious charges and a long ride to the county jail. In the end, it's not the speed that gets them, it's the choices.
Driving in oncoming traffic. TBI, TBI.
You'd think doing 90 in a 60 would already be risky enough, but on October 3rd, 2024, one driver in Craighead County looked at that number and said, let's crank it to 130. Trooper Todd Harris clocked the tan SUV and tried to make a stop, but instead of pulling over, the driver pushed the pedal and reality to its limits. What should have been a routine stop morphed into a highway thriller with sirens, strategy, and serious consequences.
Around SUV. Went around some bikes, so you didn't know oncoming traffic. Coming up on here near Nestle. We'll be going through here in a second.
Yep. An Equinox.
Look up behind you, he's swerving towards you.
Just when things looked like they might cool down near Lake City, a new face picked up the pursuit. Trooper Drum stepped in with a plan of his own, and what came next would leave a lasting mark on the roadside and on his patrol car.
Driving in oncoming traffic. TVI, TVI.
Roll over, start 16. Put it on foot, put it on foot.
Grass on the ground.
In the end, nobody walked away clean. Trooper Drum was treated for facial injuries, and Rashun Gary's quick getaway landed him right in a detention cell. His charges now include felony fleeing and second-degree battery, with a judge calling him a danger to the public. Some people run from responsibility. Gary ran from the law, and the law ran right through him. It was the evening of August 25, 2024, and traffic on Miami's State Road 836 was already chaotic enough. But when a white Chevy Trax started darting through lanes at over 90 miles per hour, one trooper knew this wasn't just someone running late. The driver, later identified as Sean Anthony Guerra Chung, wasn't just in a hurry, he was dodging responsibility, and he knew it. What began as a simple pullover quickly snowballed into something far more unpredictable. In the end, whatever story the suspect was trying to tell didn't match what officers found in his car. A backpack full of nearly 1,000 alprazolam pills, multiple bags of marijuana cocaine, and other suspicious containers told a much louder truth. Guerra Chung was charged with possession with intent to distribute cocaine, possession of a controlled substance, fleeing and eluding, and the unlawful use of a communications device. For someone who claimed he was just scared, his inventory said otherwise. It was May 14th, 2022, and Atlanta's weekend traffic had no idea what was about to hit it. A request crackled across Troop C's radio. Smyrna police needed help with a vehicle heading south at high speed, refusing to yield. That was the moment Georgia State Patrol joined the chase, and just like that, calm highways turned into a potential gauntlet. Troopers Campbell and another unit quickly made visual, and one of them took the lead. At that point, it wasn't just a routine assist, it was about containing a growing threat before it spilled over into something worse.
Stand on 75, sir. Come out on Cleveland Avenue. Avenue. Passing Cleveland Avenue. Passing Cleveland Avenue. Pit attempted. Pit attempt.
The suspect made it clear that surrender wasn't on the menu. As troopers tried to close in near Central Avenue, the driver made a bold move that kept the chase alive and officers on edge. With speeds still climbing and traffic around the line between control and chaos was wearing thin.
Hey, man.
Man, I messed up.
Central Avenue. Pit attempted.
Damn.
Pit attempt.
Come on now.
Alpha 1941. I'm coming around here. Turn out there, I'm on your right. Out there, I'm keep rolling. Keep it rolling. That's 1941. That's the 1941. Security man now. We have them on interstate. We have them on. We have them on. We have them on, 254.
By the time the suspect reached the stretch near GA 54, things had already escalated well past reason, but one trooper was ready to make a statement, and what happened next brought the entire pursuit to a screeching, unforgettable halt. In the end, the suspect's luck ran out just as fast as his tires. After slamming into a wall and bouncing across the highway, the fleeing vehicle finally came to rest. Both occupants were pulled out without further trouble and handed over to Smyrna police to face a full list of charges. All that reckless speeding, all that weaving, just to end up against a median and in handcuffs. On a sunny day in St. Augustine, Florida, what started as an ordinary drive on the interstate quickly became anything but. Troopers spotted a vehicle moving with unusual speed and intent, threading through the flow of traffic. Within moments, the calm of the highway began to unravel. What looked like just another car in the crowd was about to trigger a chain of reckless decisions. The growing chaos reached a breaking point when the car's path collided with fate. In the space of a heartbeat, normal traffic turned into something much more dangerous. The end came quickly and decisively. The driver's attempt to bolt fell flat, and troopers had him in custody within moments. From reckless driving to felony fleeing and resisting arrest, the list of charges was long. What began with a heavy foot ended with heavy consequences.
All right, get ready for phone.
On July 10th, 2025, late in the morning, Florida Highway Patrol was running speed enforcement on State Road 408 in Orange County. Among the flow of cars, one stood out, a gray Mercedes GLC flying down the highway well above the posted limit. Its windows were tinted dark, and its presence practically begged for attention. Troopers moved in to initiate a stop, but what seemed routine was about to flip into something very different.
Back on a gray Mercedes utility vehicle 2020 model expires 10/31 of 25 and 6/4 on 29. So thanks for depth party hearing location on my car. Traffic over pursuit progress.
The pace only escalated until control slipped away. In a matter of seconds, the car's reckless push carried it straight into a moment that no amount of speed could outrun.
All right, get ready for phone call. 54 pointed if you can. Hold on, Mario. Hold on. Hold me, stop. 54 pointed if you can. Hold on, Mario. Hold on.
The driver was identified as Darius Demetrius Lowe, a man already on inmate release for a prior fleeing incident. His escape attempt ended with troopers placing him in custody, recovering fentanyl pills, nearly $4,000 in cash, and baggies of leafy substance from his car. The charges piled up fast: fleeing and eluding, narcotics possession, and more. Lowe's choices that morning turned a traffic stop into a crash course in why Florida troopers never back down. This pursuit is done, but there's a whole lineup of chases that'll leave you just as stunned. Click over to the next video. You don't want to miss what happened there. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to subscribe for more.